I'm Sheriff Paul Blackman, and I want to give you an update on the investigation into a murder of a 21-year-old Elijah Daley of Lake Placid on Thursday, May 8th. We have arrested 5 people who were involved in the events that led to the victim being shot inside a hotel room in Lake Placid. That includes the shooter, the man who drove him to the hotel, and 3 people who were involved in setting the victim up to be robbed, which led to him being murdered. All of them potentially faced the death penalty. When deputies were called to the Ramada Inn just after 5 a.m., they found the victim deceased and 3 people who claimed they were just witnesses to the crime: 18-year-old Jamari Mitchell of Lake Placid and 19-year-olds Lanaya Mcleod of Northport and Yoshabelle Edouard of Port Charlotte. Told deputies they were in the room with Daley when a masked man forced his way into the room, struggled with Daley, and then shot him multiple times. Detectives quickly began to unravel their story. Within a matter of just a few hours, it had become clear that the 3 people who claimed to be witnesses had been involved in setting up the events that led to Daley's murder. Using security camera footage and other investigative methods, detectives also identified the shooter and the man who drove him to and from the crime scene. Within 12 hours of the crime, deputies had located the driver, 20-year-old Jamarcus Jenkins of Lake Placid, after a high-speed pursuit in Placid Lakes. Jenkins was arrested. The man who actually shot Daley was 26-year-old Latarius Jamar Johnson. He was located around 9 p.m. Friday night in Sebring and arrested. He is charged with first-degree murder and armed robbery. The other 4 are also charged with first-degree murder under the felony murder rule. Felony murder charges are filed when the suspect is involved in a certain type of crime and someone is killed during the commission of that crime. Anyone involved in the crime can be charged with felony murder, even if they were not the ones that actually killed the victim. The potential sentences are the same for the first-degree murder: life in prison or the death penalty. All 5 suspects are being held without bond in the Highlands County Jail. I want to commend our deputies and the detectives who worked so hard to bring the investigation to a swift and successful conclusion. They are simply the best in the business. I also want to thank the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission for their assistance, as well as the members of the community who called in tips to help this investigation. Having a loved one taken from you through the cruelty of someone else is especially devastating, and I hope the fact that the people responsible for the senseless murder of this young man being behind bars will offer consolation to the family and friends of Elijah Daley.